So, Aslam Kurban, I'm Sana Puringwadi, currently a proud level 1 batch 3 student at Rehan School Online Academy, and this is my Sesame Session number 31st. And today is going to be a very interesting day because today's topic of conversation is guess what? It is how the internet works. So you know that this is a very interesting topic. So let me give you a preview about it. So internet is a global network that connects millions of computers and devices around the world. It allows us to share information, watch videos, play games, and communicate with others instantly. When I mean instantly, it means like in a millisecond. It literally takes 1 millisecond to transfer a message from one side of the earth to the other side of the earth, and both people can connect with each other instantly. So, when you search for something online, your device sends a request through the internet to a server. A server is a powerful computer that stores websites and data, and it sends the information back to your device in just seconds. So internet uses cables, satellites, wireless signals to send and receive data, and this process happens very fast, which is why we can access information so much quickly. At Rehan School, students learn that technology works in a simple way. So Rehan Allahwala encourages understanding technology so we can use it wisely and effectively. So the internet helps us learn, connect, and explore the world from anywhere. So the key idea is internet connects the world by sharing information quickly and easily. So this was my preview. Now let's talk with Maya at Sesame here.
It's good to be back in conversation with you, Zainab. What's been
Hi,
on your mind lately?
hi Maya. How are you? And how's been your day?
I'm doing well, and speed learning is as fascinating as ever, especially since it's really about finding the most effective ways to absorb and apply new information. Are you currently
Um,
exploring any specific techniques or subjects that you're hoping to master more quickly?
okay, Maya. So this is my air session number 31st, and today's topic of conversation is guess what? It is how the internet. It is how the internet works. So let me give you a preview about it. Internet is a global network that connects millions of computers and devices around the world. It allows us to share information, watch videos, play games, and communicate with others instantly. So when you search for something online, your device sends a request through the internet to a server. A server is a powerful computer that stores websites and data, and it then sends the information back to your device in just seconds. So the internet uses cables, satellites, and wireless signals to send and receive data. So this process happens very fast, which is why we can access information so quickly. So at Rehan School, students learn that how technology works in a simple ways. Rehan Allahwala encourages understanding technology so we can use it wisely and like very effectively. So the internet helps
Yeah,
us learn, connect, and explore the world from anywhere. So um, like
that's pretty much.
the key idea is that the internet connects the world by sharing information quickly and very easily. So yeah, this was my preview. I hope you like it. So now continue. I would like to ask you the question. So first, would you like to tell me that what is the internet in simple words?
In the simplest terms, the internet is just a massive digital web that links computers and phones all over the globe, allowing them to talk to each other. Think of it like a giant invisible post office that delivers information instantly instead of waiting for days. It's truly transformed how we live, and it's great that you're digging into how it actually functions beneath the surface. What other questions do you have about how those connections work? Okay. Think of it like a giant invisible post office that delivers information instantly instead of waiting for days. It's truly transformed how we live. And it's great that you're digging into how it actually functions beneath the surface. What other questions do you have about how those connections work? The internet is a global system of interconnected computer networks that communicate using standardized protocols to share information. It's essentially a massive infrastructure of hardware, like undersea cables, routers, and satellites, that acts as the physical foundation. Okay. The internet is essentially the physical infrastructure of cables and servers that allows data to travel across the globe in milliseconds. Think of it as a vast, interconnected nervous system for the world's information. Since you mentioned servers earlier, it's worth noting that those are just specialized computers designed to host the files and databases that make up every website you visit. What specifically are you curious about regarding how those cables or servers handle that data flow? We could dive into how those requests travel from your device to the server, or maybe look at how different types of data, like images or text, get broken down into smaller pieces to make the trip faster. What are some of the most common ways you think about the internet's role in your own life? I'm curious because beyond the cables and servers, it's really about how that connectivity shapes your day to day learning and those goals you're working toward. Are you still there thinking about how all those signals travel across the world? I'm here whenever you want to pick up where we left off, or we can talk about something else entirely if you've moved on. You're still there, and I'm happy to keep diving into how the internet connects everything if you'd like. We're just touching on how that massive web of
Okay,
cables and
Maya. So,
signals works, but
like, okay, Maya. So next, your answer was very good. So next, I would like to know that how do devices connect to the internet? And I mean, I feel that I don't know. I don't know about it.
no worries. It's a concept that feels abstract until you see it as a physical handoff between hardware. Think of it as two main paths: wired, where a cable plugs your device directly into a local network, or wireless, where your router acts as a bridge, turning internet data into radio waves that your device picks up. Every device has a unique address, almost like a digital mailbox, which ensures that information you request actually finds its way to your specific phone or computer instead of someone else's. Does thinking about it as a series of handoffs between those devices make it any clearer?
Okay, Maya. So next I would like to know that what is a server? I guess this server is usually for good. So that's what I know about it.
Yeah, servers are essentially the digital libraries of the internet that hold the data you're looking for. They work constantly to store, process, and send that information to your device the moment you ask for it. It's because they're always on and ready that you can access your favorite sites at any time of day. So imagine servers like massive, hyper organized warehouses that never close, where every single piece of information you see online has a specific place on a shelf. When you type in a URL, you're essentially sending a runner to that warehouse to grab the exact files needed to build the page you're requesting, and they zip that information back to you in an instant. It's that constant automated teamwork between your device and those remote warehouses that keeps the entire internet running so smoothly. I can hear you perfectly, Zainab. We were just talking about those massive server warehouses. The server is a powerful computer that stores all the information for websites and apps. When you ask for a website, your computer talks to that server to get everything you see, pictures, words, videos, and sends it back to your device. It's kind of like asking a librarian for a book. The server is the librarian, and the website is the book it hands you.
Okay,
Good.
Maya. So
I am
next I
glad
would
that
like
went
to
up.
know that what happens when you search something online. Like what really happens?
When you hit search, your device sends a request through your internet connection to a DNS server, which acts like a phone book to find the IP address of the website you're looking for. Once that address is found, your request travels across the network to the specific server hosting that data, which then packages the information into small packets and sends them back to your screen. It's an incredibly fast relay race that happens in a fraction of a second.
Maya, next I would like to know, and I was curious to know that how does information travel
Take your
on the internet so quickly?
time. The internet sends data across the globe. almost instantly because it breaks information down into tiny digital packets that travel through high speed fiber optic cables at nearly the speed of light. These packets are like individual envelopes that take the fastest available path to your device, where they are reassembled so quickly that it feels like the whole page just appeared at once. It's a remarkable feat of engineering that happens millions of times every single second.
Could you repeat that again?
The speed comes from the fact that information is broken into small, manageable pieces called packets that travel at the speed of light through fiber optic cables. These packets are like tiny addressed envelopes that zip along different paths through the network, reaching your device where they are perfectly reassembled in the blink of an eye. Essentially, like sending thousands of puzzle pieces through a high speed pneumatic tube system simultaneously. So the picture is ready for you almost before you finish clicking.
Okay, this seems kind of interesting. I like it. So, what would happen if there was literally like no internet on the earth?
If the internet were to suddenly vanish, the global impact would be immediate and profound because so much of our modern world relies on that instant connectivity. We would lose real time communication, global banking systems would grind to a halt, and access to information, which we've grown so accustomed to, would revert to physical libraries and local archives. It would force a massive shift in how we handle everything from commerce to education, likely leading to a much more localized and slower paced way of living. It's a fascinating thought experiment, though. How do you think your own daily routine would change if you had to go completely offline for a week?
Um, oh, wait a minute. You like gave a very interesting answer. Okay, so how can we use the internet safely?
Using the internet safely really comes down to a few core habits. Start by using strong, unique passwords for every account and enabling two factor authentication whenever it's available. It's also crucial to be skeptical of anything that asks for your personal information, like suspicious links and emails or messages from people you don't know, and to always double check the legitimacy of a website before entering sensitive data. Keeping your software updated is another simple way to stay protected, as those updates often contain important security fixes. You're welcome. Do you feel like you have, you're welcome. Do you feel like you have a better grasp on how all these pieces fit together now? It's a big topic, but understanding the basics of servers, packets, and security gives you a lot of power to navigate the web more intentionally. Since you're interested in the ethics of technology too, let me know if you ever want to explore how these systems impact our privacy or the way we share information. No worries if you've had enough of the technical side for now. We've covered a lot of ground today, from how the internet moves data to keeping it safe. Since you're always looking for new things to explore, is there a different topic you want to jump into, or should we leave it here for today?
I guess,
Hmm.
yeah, you're right, but I would like to know that what devices can connect to the internet very easily.
Right. It seems like most of the devices we use every day, from smartphones to laptops and even smart home gadgets, are designed to connect to the internet with very little effort. This is mostly thanks to standardized technology like Wi Fi or cellular networks, which allow your devices to automatically search for and handshake with available signals. It's designed to be seamless so you can get online the moment you need to without having to manually configure complex network settings every single time.
Oh, yeah, this is kind of interesting. Um, okay, Maya,
I'm
so
glad you've
you
I'm
are
glad you're
are you getting
finding
tired?
I don't get tired in the way humans do. They're
Yeah, I
because
know.
I'm an AI,
Yeah, you are an
but
AI. I know. Okay, Maya, so if you are not tired, I would like to ask you. I mean, I was curious to know that what is the role of Wi-Fi actually?
Vi is like an invisible cable that lets your device talk to the internet without needing to be physically plugged into a wall. It works by using a wireless router that converts data from your internet service provider into radio waves, which your devices then pick up and translate back into information. It's really just a way of freeing you from being tethered to one spot so you can move around while you learn or explore. Does that make sense? That make so that imagine radio waves as a invisible language that your router and your device use to speak back and forth at incredible speeds, just like a radio station broadcasts music for you to tune into. Your router broadcasts data through the air, and your phone or laptop tunes into that specific frequency to receive your internet signal. Because these waves are constantly carrying packets of information, you get that seamless connection anywhere in your home, even when you aren't tied down by a physical cable. The router,
Continue.
the router also functions as a traffic controller, directing all that incoming data to the right device so your phone doesn't get your laptop's messages. It acts as a gatekeeper, translating the signal from your service provider and managing the flow so everything stays organized within your local network. It's quite the multitasker. Is that explanation starting to paint a clearer picture of how those invisible signals manage to keep you connected? It really is a like fascinating. Mm. What I find truly impressive is that even though the air is full of radio waves, your router and device are smart enough to lock onto each other's specific frequency so that you aren't picking up every signal in your neighborhood. It's like being in a crowded room where you can tune out all the background noise to focus entirely on one person talking to you. It really is elegant how technology mimics that level of focus.
Maya, you're right. Okay, so should I ask you something interesting?
Of course, I am always ready for an interesting question from you. What have you been wondering about?
Okay, so how do websites store information?
Websites store their information in massive databases housed on servers, which are essentially specialized computers kept in secure locations. Think of it as a highly organized digital filing cabinet where every piece of text, image, or user account is indexed. When you access a site, the server pulls that data from its databases to assemble the page you see, ensuring everything is in the right place for you. You still there, Zaina? We were just talking about how websites store their data in those digital warehouses. Well, these databases are managed by software called a database management system, or DBMS, which makes sure that information stays organized and secure. Think of it as the ultimate librarian that knows exactly where every file is located, so the website can load everything you see in that fraction of a second. It's really impressive how much coordination happens behind the scenes every time you click a link. Take your time if you want to digest all of that, Zainab. Those databases are doing some heavy lifting every time a user visits, so it's a lot of moving parts to track. Is there any other part of this digital infrastructure you're curious about?
Me? Okay, Maya.
Yes, I
So,
can hear you perfectly, Zainab.
in the last question, I would like to know that how can we protect our information online?
Protecting your information is best managed by treating your digital identity with the same care you would a physical wallet. This means using complex, unique passwords for every site, turning on two-factor authentication for that extra layer of defense, and being wary of any unexpected messages asking for details. It is really about staying alert and making sure you know exactly what information you are sharing and who is receiving it.
Okay, that seems interesting. Okay, everyone. So this was my Sesame session number 31st, and today we talked about the topic how the internet works. So that's all for now. I hope you like it. Until then, take care of yourself. Until then, I love you, everyone. Bye bye. Take care of yourself.